welcome back to Dream Raid. Today, me, Ryan, read story but
Okay,
scary.
the first thing I see is mad cow disease.
Okay, but today we're gonna be doing some no sleep stories. We would do this at night, but it's midday because he decided. I didn't decide this time. That
What?
was him. Yeah, I didn't decide to record. I was gonna record at like 12.
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you at like 12, but then you were like, no,
I
we
didn't
do
want to.
now.
I'm too lazy for
Um,
that.
True.
Yes. Mad cow
But today
disease.
we're gonna be recording some. We're gonna be reading some no sleep stories. I don't know when this video will come out. It'll probably be out. What you want to say? Saturday, Sunday?
Depends on how fast I can edit this shit.
Yeah, fast my fingers go.
But you have to
But
make the thumbnail.
I already have this one made.
You already took the screenshot of this.
I've sent it to you before. I have the thumbnails pre-made.
You do? Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, no sleep.
Yes.
So this is the first story we were reading. It's called "We Didn't Know What We Were Eating." I'm gonna be the one reading because he doesn't know how to read.
Yeah.
He never learned his alphabets.
Sure. What?
Shut up, leave me alone.
I only know how to read mad cow disease. Nothing else.
Okay, let's get this. Let's go, baby. Pee pee.
Read the damn thing.
Okay.
Ew.
Shut
Ew.
up.
Okay,
I
whatever.
cleared my.
Go. You've been
Okay,
drinking this for
we
too
didn't
long.
know. Okay.
Okay.
We didn't know what we were eating. It started off as a simple request. Back in 2008, a friend was working towards a higher degree and wanted to hire me as an editor and researcher for his graduate thesis. We weren't close friends, mostly just at work. I've done research before and honestly could use a few extra bucks doing something freelance on the side. The subject, prions. How do you say that word? Did I say that right?
Where?
Prions. Prius.
Just say Prius.
I've never even heard of Prius before this paper. Oh, it was not something that I've come across in day-to-day news.
Let's ask Siri. Prion. It's a disease.
Oh.
What the fuck?
How is it? Did I pronounce it
How do you
right?
say it real quick? Let me see how do you say it.
Prions.
Prion, yeah.
Uh.
Prion. We said we decided on Prius. Whatever.
Basically, you have bacteria, viruses, and prions. It was a third type of infection, one that involved irregularly folded proteins interacting with our brain chemistry in bad ways. I read his first draft, and it was dry. I struggled to stay focused. If you weren't familiar with the material, you couldn't understand a majority of it. I wasn't familiar with the medical jargon at all. The parts that did interest me were symptoms. At least a layman can understand those. Some of the symptoms of prion infections was uncontrollable emotional outbursts, laughing when inappropriate, body tremors, fun stuff like that. That reminds me of Joker from the Joker movie.
Yes.
Does it?
It kind of does, yeah.
I did a query on the symptoms and came across something unexpected. This combination of symptoms was seen before. New Guinea called it the laughing sickness. It was discovered among tribes that practiced cannibalism. The other was mad cow disease?
Yes.
There it is. I flipped through the paper. There was something about interspecies transmission, and there it was. Prion infections that cannot cross species due to the differences in protein types.
Oh.
If humans were contracting mad cow disease through consumption, where did the human prion infections come from? It was time to switch focus. What exactly was mad cow disease? In the United Kingdom, farmers started feeding cows grains with fillers added. The fillers were ground up bones, including the spinal column, from slaughterhouses. Basically, they were feeding cows to cows.
What the
For
fuck?
what? All to save money. According to this paper, that would infect cows with cow prions. If a cow went insane, would a person even realize it? It's a cow. This doesn't explain the cross-species infection, though.
Kinda does.
Further research showed that the local slaughterhouses couldn't keep up with the demand. This cost savings measure was working so well they needed to outsource their supply of bone meal. The country they chose, India.
Oh my god.
India. India isn't exactly known for slaughtering cows. The local contracting company decided to pay people a fixed price per pound of bones. During this time, there were multiple reports of gravesites being dug up. Individuals were arrested. Most were never caught. When people are hungry, they do what is necessary for food. Everything pointed to the gravesites being the source of bones. The contractor would grind them up and send shipments of bone meal to the United Kingdom for use in feeding their livestock. Cows were slaughtered and beef shipped around the world. All of this information was detailed with sources, but without the medical information in the paper, the pieces would never come together. My friend incorporated the findings into his paper, and the final draft was an amazing, if somewhat terrifying, read. He received top marks with a detailed note from the professor on the quality of the work. There was talk of it getting it published. Then the paper disappeared. My friend was asked to return it to the professor, along with any digital copies. He shortly after dropped out of the postgraduate program. But wouldn't talk about why. He then left the company where we worked together, not even a goodbye. A while later, he disappeared off of social media. I don't even know what to think anymore. Huh? That was a weird ending. It was going somewhere, and it just kind of stopped.
My friend stopped using social media. I do not know what to think. I don't even... What? I'm confused.
That was a bit weird. I'm gonna be honest. That kind of confused me.
Yeah.
It was going somewhere, and then it wasn't.
Whatever happened to the disease? I didn't catch on to that.
Yeah, like, what was going on with the disease, and what was going on, you know, stuff like that.
Cows eating cows. That's called cannibalism. Wait, no.
Yeah, isn't... Yeah.
Or is it cannibalism when people eat people? Animalism. That works.
Cannibalism?
Cannibalism and animalism.
Animal legs.
Turkey legs. Okay, no. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
We
So, we found a second story. I hope you guys are ready, because this one is titled epically.
Grandma speaks the dead language.
The dead language. I assume it means Latin. Because Latin is an extremely... Latin is the only dead language that I can think of. Could you shut off?
No, I'm trying to be a cowboy. No.
I assume it means Latin because Latin is the only dead language that I can think of. But, yeah, so here we go.
Yes.
Grandma speaks the dead language. Grandma, as always, sat facing the wall.
Whoa.
5 years ago, my grandfather passed away, and from that day, when she got home from the funeral, she took a chair, turned it towards the wall of our living room, and sat down. She refused to speak or eat or even get up to use the restroom.
Oh.
At first, she had a few accents before they stopped. My mom assumed she began to go at night while we all slept, but we were never really sure. Food disappeared. The shower was wet in the morning, and we all adjusted to our new life with a partially catatonic grandma.
Yes.
For 2 years, things kept on keeping on with no strange incidents or upsets. Just a hollow shell of a woman who refused to look at anyone. 2 years of normalcy. Then, a night of terror. I was 13 and my mom was going to be gone all night due to an unexpected night shift. It was me, my 8-year-old brother Vernon, or Nani as my mom called him,
What?
and Grandma. The thing started out fine enough. Me and Nani played some Mortal Kombat, watched some TV, and ended the night with a basement showing of the Blair Witch Project, courtesy of Sci-Fi. Spooky stuff. Spooky stuff. But of course,
Spooky.
tough guy Nani acted like it didn't
Tough
faze him.
guy Nani. Okay. Nothing.
Not scary, he proclaimed once the movie was over. Oh yeah? You know it's real, right? I fibbed. I saw a flick of terror across his eyes before he buried it. Nuh-uh. Yeah-huh. It all really happened. Shut up. You're such a liar. Whatever you say, Nani, I said with a snicker. Stop calling me that. He jumped up and tackled me to the ground, his skinny body unable to do much as I shoved him off of me.
That's
Sounds
amazing.
Like me. Sounds like me. Sounds like me whenever we were in school and I would try and fight you. Get away from me, you
Okay,
idiot.
the thing is, McCoy, whenever you try to fight me, you always like trip. Then you would
My
like
legs are too long.
you would trip on nothing, and then you would like fall on me.
You remember that time where we all toppled down on top of Branson?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Chill, dummy, you're gonna break something like last time. That was you! It wouldn't have been me if some little idiot hadn't pushed me over. That broken mirror is your fault. You're not supposed to say that, he said, pointing at me. I'm gonna tell Mom. Mom ain't even here. In fact, why don't you go... There was a loud bang upstairs, severing the word about to escape my lips. I said quietly, stopping mid-sentence. Epic. What was that? Nani asked, worried. Shh, I hushed, lifting my head upstairs towards the living room. I slowly approached the stairs, my stomach in knots at the idea of ascending them. Fed, I don't think we should go. I don't think we should. Shh, I'm trying to listen. I tried to pick up any sound I could, but all I heard was silence. We have to check on Grandma, I finally said. Nani's eyes grew wide. No, I don't want to go up there. That sound was creepy enough, and then with Grandma just up there, no way.
Oh my god.
Then you can stay down here by yourself then,
Yeah.
I said, beginning to walk up the stairs. Fed, no, wait! I heard him follow me as I opened the door at the top of the stairs. It was pitch black in the living room. I reached for the light switch and flicked it on. Grandma was right in front of us.
Oh.
Jesus Christ!
God, that would
shouted.
actually freak me out. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too. I shouted, falling backwards down the stairs and taking Nani with me.
Nani.
He let out a shriek as we landed with a thud on the basement floor. Grandma, what are you doing? I shouted. Her stoic, wrinkly face didn't move. A chill crawled up my back. Grandma? Nani whimpered out.
Nani.
I could feel him shaking under me. Neither of us had dared to move. Suddenly, Grandma looked towards us. Her pale, milky eyes burrowed into us as she slowly opened her mouth. Amor mis vignette adme.
That's not in reverse. What the hell?
I know how it's pronounced. I don't know what the words mean, but I know how to pronounce them.
Venti ad
Amor
me.
mis vignette adme.
Adme.
What language was that? Amica mia et venne micum uta somno esustitam. Grandma?
What?
I said before she turned away from us and went back into the living room.
Yes.
Nani, stay down here. What are you gonna do? I don't know, but I'm
Why
going
does that
up
sound
there.
so bitchy? What are you gonna do? Okay, whatever.
Fed, no! Please stay down here. I ignored his pleas as I crawled my way up the stairs. I peeked my head into the living room and saw my grandma facing the door. Amica mia! Hikamar! Viniadne so des. Suddenly there was a loud bang at the door. Amica mia! She said again, reaching for the doorknob. From the other side I could hear scratching. No! I shouted, jumping up and grabbing my grandmother's arm. I pulled her from the door, or at least attempted to. She struggled against me and reached out towards the doorknob. From the other side, the scratching continued. No! No! She screamed as she broke free and got to the door.
What?
She screamed as she broke free and got to the door.
So, wait.
She twisted the knob, and as the door swung open, all the lights in the house went out. I yelped and ran back towards the basement. Slipping and tumbling down the stairs, I felt two hands grasp me, and I screamed before I realized it was just Nani helping me up. What happened? He asked, more fearful than ever. What happened to the lights? Hide, I shouted at him. Go and hide. I heard him fumbling in the dark, then silence. Figuring he was hidden, and I looked up to the top of the stairs. Two figures stood in the doorway. Venit ad inferius. Oh my god, I turned into
You turned.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
What happened?
Where was it? Veneti ad inferius. Avus. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Avus.
Avis. I heard my grandmother shout. She had never spoken like this before. It was the language I couldn't understand. She and the figure began to slowly walk down the stairs. A stench hung in the air, gross and putrid. Then the thing next to her began to speak. Only it wasn't words, not even in the tongue Grandma spoken. It was guttural, like metal being scraped against a sidewalk. It held for 5 seconds before cutting off. Grandma let out a sick laugh as the light clicked back on. Next to her was my grandfather, rotted, wormy, and green.
What the
But it was
fuck?
my grandfather. I let out a scream, my throat burning from the strain. My grandfather's mouth opened and his jaw slid off to the floor with a sickening tear. It bounced when it hit the ground. Grandma laughed and picked it up, attempted to reattach it before giving up. She turned towards me with a smile as my grandfather began to shuffle towards me, arms outstretched. I screamed again and crawled away, searching for where Nani was hiding before grandfather wrapped his skeletal hand around my ankle. He let out a screech again and pulled me towards him. Lowering his head, he put his top jaw to my cheek, teeth sinking in. I continued to scream, but by this point all I could muster out were some whimpers, my voice hoarse. Grandma stood, watching, smiling. Suddenly, I saw another figure fly across the room. It was Nani with a bat. He struck our undead grandfather in the head with a stomach-churning thwack!
Why do I imagine some fucking short kid with a fucking bat just flying midair? I don't know why I imagined that. Okay, whatever. That was amazing.
Yeah. Grandpa's head burst, sending his brain flying all over the room. His
Ew.
eyes flew out, one of them striking my cheek before bouncing to the floor. No! My grandma shouted, pushing Nani over and grasping grandfather's body. Amica mia, nulla velet excita quondam iterum. He repeated the words over and over, but my grandfather remained lifeless before the lights in the house flickered out again. I ran over to Nani and held him tightly in my arms. I could hear him crying and felt his tears wet my shirt as Grandma continued to wail and sob. Sorry, I was feeling my cut.
What? I thought that was in the story. Like, when it...
The grandma just turned around. Sorry, I was feeling my cut.
I really thought
When
I
I-
was like looking around. I'm like, wait, where do you see that at?
When the light turned back on, they were both gone. I held on to Nani for what felt like an eternity before I had the courage to speak. Where'd they go? I managed to force out. My voice still raspy from the screaming. I don't know, Nani whispered, his face still buried into my shirt. I walked to the stairs, slowly walking up them, Nani's hand clenched tightly in mine. From the top, I looked into the living room. There sat Grandma, facing the wall. Our grandfather was nowhere to be seen.
Whoa, that ending though. I don't.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Oh, so these are what each time This is what the Latin meant each time. I looked in the little comments.
I know, I see it
So
too.
they mean love will come to me. My friend and I went to make me sick. My love, I'm here to love. Come to me, please. My love, come to the funeral, grandfather. My love, no, please, stir once again. That's scary.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, we got another fucking reading session. Fuck. I messed up my goddamn intro shit.
Okay, so we found our
another
third and
fucking-
final. We found our third and final story for today. After this, we'll kind of do like an outro. We need to make an outro and an intro, Ryan. We need to. You got to figure out how to do that because I can't do that.
No, I can do
I don't-
that, but like, I don't want to do that.
True. Okay, so this story is called "The Curious Case of My Husband's Missing Buttons."
Yes.
So let's
Button. Okay.
get right into it.
Okay.
The curious.
Don't ask.
My husband always makes such a mess. I'm always finding little brown hairs of his all over the house. Just this morning, I found a couple strands lying on the couch. Your father, I always tell my son, might as well be a dog with the amount of hair he sheds.
Damn.
It's a full-time job scooping them up, but I do it anyways because a clean house is a happy house. They say that being a mother is the hardest job in the world, and boy do I believe it. Mornings around here can be pretty hectic, with my son and husband both needing so much attention. Today my husband was in a panic because his favorite dress shirt was missing the top two buttons. How could they just disappear? He asked me as though I summoned the buttons out of thin air.
What?
But I am as much a psychologist as I am a wife, and I knew how to smooth things over. Not to worry, I told him. I have it taken care of. This was just what he needed to hear, and I handed him a second shirt instead. It was the one with the blue stripes that he liked so much. My husband grabbed his wallet and rushed out the door, still in time to catch the early train if he hurried. Not even 10 seconds after my husband left, my son was already bursting into tears. "What's the matter?" I asked him. He pointed at the underside of his arm, and I immediately located a purple bruise. "Another one?" I asked. "Well, I know just how to fix that." Of course, there was only one thing that could have fixed a bruise. He's going to need a magical mommy kiss.
Oh my god.
My son held up his wrist to me with tears in his eyes, and I gave it a peck. Just like that, and the tears were gone. Mommy magic is instant, you see. Funny how simple life can be when you're his age. "Did you want to go to the store with Mommy today?" I asked him in an excited voice. I knew my son would love that. He always loved going to the store with me. I guess it's about as much of an adventure as a boy of 4 can have. I needed a needle and a thread, so we journeyed together to the craft store where I purchased some filament and a pack of needles. Naturally, my son wanted a tiny stuffed figurine that we passed on one of the shelves, so I let him have it. That's how you spoil your kids. That's what happened to me.
Mhm.
Hey, are you calling me spoiled?
Are you?
No. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either. Where is my little shit? My awesome is that? Okay, whatever.
What?
You'll see it when you come reading by it.
Oh, I see it now. You wanna read the dad's lines.
Sure.
Okay.
Where are you at?
By the time we got
Okay.
back, it was already dark outside, and I knew that it was time. Footsteps echoed from outside. The monster was coming. I quickly shuffled my son into a closet and handed him his favorite sippy cup. "Be very quiet," I whispered. I barely had time to close the closet door when I heard the monster rip open the front door. "Hello?" I asked, walking into the kitchen.
Where's my little shit? My husband
My
asked.
husband.
He needs to learn some respect. Okay. Hi.
That was really loud. I didn't need to smell the alcohol on him to know that he had been drinking again.
Shucks.
He always acted this way when he drank. I was so scared. You're not going to hurt us anymore, I said, walking over to the sink. This seemed to anger him even more, and he scowled at me dangerously.
Oh, really? He stuttered. Wait.
He slurred.
He slurred. How does? And wait. And what are you going to do about it? Don't
You
ask.
sound like Guru.
Guru.
I pulled out the tiny figurine from the craft store and held it
Wait,
up
you
to
talking
him.
about Despicable Me, Guru?
Yes.
Okay. Whatever.
Girls.
What? Holes?
Girls.
Oh.
Like he says girls.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
I
Drew.
pulled out the tiny figurine from the craft store and held it up to him. After making some modifications of my own, it looked strikingly similar to my husband now. The doll had a pair of button eyes sewn onto its face. My husband's button had a clump of hair attached to its head. My husband's hair. Before he could even reach me, I stuck the voodoo doll head first down the sink. And with the flip of a switch, turned the garbage disposal on.
Oh,
My husband always makes such a mess.
I get it. The voodoo doll and everything. I got
Yeah.
it. I got it.
That was cool. That was a good one.
Yeah, I like the
It-
ending.
It took a turn. It was nice at first, and then it was like, oh.
No, oh, my husband been drinking again. Gotta kill him now. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the end of that.
So this guy is acting like. So whenever you post on No Sleep, I've done this myself.
Yes.
I've made my own story. I'll show you. You don't go to my account, but I've made my own stories on here.
We should read
And
some.
maybe.
Maybe.
And you have to act in like as in the in the comments. You have to act as if this actually happened to you, and you're the person that like you have to act as if you're the character that was in the story. So
Oh my
he down here in
God.
like the comments, the OP is like, hey, someone asked how are you and your son doing now,
Oh
and
my.
they're acting like they're the mother, and it just keeps the line.
That's sad.
But I mean, it makes it cool, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't see it that way, but okay.
It just really depends. But anyways, thank you all for watching today.
Yeah.
I definitely enjoyed this. I hope you guys do too. We
Yep,
hope
and I
you
wanna
guys do
enjoy
too.
editing this shit, but yeah.
Yeah, you definitely won't enjoy that.
We probably have
Um,
30 minutes of footage already.
Maybe
It's fine.
it'll be cut down to like 20.
It's fine. I'll find a way to edit them easier.
Yeah. But thank you all for watching.
Yep.
We'll definitely see you next time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Playing a game, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
we might do Reddit again. we might be looking at funny memes next time.
We might be
knows?
playing fucking online games or some shit. I don't fucking know.
We
Well,
don't know.
We'll fucking
But
see. Yeah.
All in all, thank you for watching.
Yep. And
We
remember,
really appreciate
and
you watching.
try not to catch the cow disease.
Yeah.